to, normally we, at our board meetings, we don't have a public hearing, but I understand there's quite a few people here who may want to speak. Does the board have any objection if we allow these people, let's say 3 minutes to talk in regard to the next issue that we have? No objection? Okay.
We got people going to be asked to comment on the memo or on the project?
Well, typically we don't have public comment. It's not the normal course of business. That's why we hold special, distinct public hearings, but it appears there's people here who'd like to speak. I would assume it's on the charter school issue, so I think, you know, it's the overall project.
Okay, does anyone wish to speak? Yes, ma'am, please give your name and we'll give you 3 minutes.
Okay, the name is Mike O'Brien. I'm a city council member from the 12th Ward. And I spoke at your last meeting, and my comments, I reiterate those without going into the tedium of repeating them all. I basically noted that the city council has had to slash a number of beneficial programs for the citizens and the youth of Albany, mainly because of budgetary hardships. And it kind of mystifies me that, you know, your board has, you know, tens of millions of dollars to play with, and I don't mean that facetiously, to deal with, and yet what I see is absolutely beneficial projects are being shut down because of lack of money. I do also want to comment, my understanding of the capitalized resource program.
That's about how much money. I mean, that's a complete overstatement.
Okay, you have money. I mean, I don't know the exact amount of it, but my point is there are a number of needy projects that come in front of the council every single year, and they're not being met. And yet there are requests for bonding of a school worth $10 million, and it wants to be bonded for $15 million. There's requests for bonding of a new school, and the Brighter Choice already has an excess capacity of over 1,100 seats. There's definitely a glut of school space in the city of Albany, and I don't think we need to be diverting valuable resources to that purpose, new construction of school space, when we are already depriving existing proven programs of their existence. And there was a question that your bond counsel was asked to address, and I have an issue with a bond counsel that stands to get $63,000 payment if you pass this resolution, advising you of anything. I mean, to me, that's a conflict. But even looking at the advice he gives, particularly on points number 2 and 4 of his advice, as to whether any new jobs are being created, he says we can't answer that. Well, that, I am absolutely mystified by that, because there are a finite number of students in the city of Albany. And unless he anticipates that thousands of students are going to replicate themselves and lead to a demand for more classroom space, then he should have a definitive answer to that. He shouldn't be saying, I can't answer it. And similarly with number 4, where, you know, specifically they're saying, will this create empty school buildings? And he says, well, we can't answer that one either. Again, you know, there are a definitive number of students, and if they're going from one school rather than to another, what you're doing is you're transferring students and you're transferring jobs. And if you already have 2 empty public schools and a number of vacant former Catholic schools and a vacant charter school and not complete enrollment based on their charters, you have a glut. And I don't think you're creating anything of economic benefit to the city of Albany, and I don't think you're meeting your charter. Now, granted, you'll get a nice, you know, $250,000 transaction fee, and, you know, I don't, but to me, that's not your mission, to raise transaction fees. To me, your mission is economic development, job development, and community development, and quite frankly, I don't think this project has it, and I don't think your council addressed those issues when you asked them to.